Inside this shadow box is the very first fly I ever tied. Now I'm an avid fisherman, so it was really exciting for me to spend time with Noam Buckman for season 5 of A Craftsman's Legacy. Together, we made this fly, and I really wanted to showcase it in something special so I could enjoy it year round. Plus, I think it's going to look pretty cool next to Tony the Bass. Stay tuned so you can see exactly how I made it. This shadow box is pretty small in size because it's just housing a fly, but I did make it about 3.5 inches deep. And then I wanted to do something special on the sides. I didn't want just a square box, so I put these relief cuts in all 4 sides, which gives it a little bit of body to it. Now for the wood, I chose Wenge because it has a really rich color and a nice texture to it. On the miters, I used a matched miter so the grain follows over the corners. Now, when you're doing a match grain miter, basically what you're doing is you just want to remove this little triangular section from the middle of the board, right? So that the grain itself can still match up. I've done it a couple different ways in the past. This time what I did was I laid it out so that I was always referencing the same side on every cut. And I made all of my right angle cuts first, then I went back, flipped the wood, and followed through and made the opposite cut. It worked out really well. It was really pretty easy, but I just had to plan it out ahead of time a little bit more. I cut these scallops out with the bandsaw, and that was pretty straightforward. I knew I would have some cleanup to do, so I used an oscillating spindle sander. Now the problem is that the drum on that spindle sander is only 4 inches long, and it's going up and down, and this is 3.5 inches wide. So I knew that there would be a point where the sander would be below the top of this, and I'm not going to have consistent contact all the way across the width of these sides. So I had to sort of pay attention to that and flip it over a number of times to make sure I was getting an even amount of sanding overall. And then after I was done with that, I followed up with a palm sander just to feather it out a little bit further. On the back, I used a piece of highly figured cherry that I had left over from another project. What I really liked about it was that the figure sort of looks like ripples in the water, and when I positioned the fly, I made sure to put it just that way. So when you're looking at it, you could see sort of a rippling effect in the background. Plus, I think the contrast looks pretty killer. I do say so myself. For finishing, I chose something really easy, Odies Oil. You wipe it on, wipe it off. It brings a really rich color out of the wood, and I think it looks great.